That's what Halloween on State Street has been the last couple of years, but efforts by the city and local law enforcement are trying to turn that around. NBC15's Natalie Swaby is live on State Street. And Natalie, there are people coming out. How's the scene down there right now?
Well, I can tell you, Lee, we've got tens of thousands of partiers. We've got a couple hundred officers and at least 75 arrests already. Police are gearing up for the worst tonight, especially since Saturday has historically been the most problematic.
Yeah!
By now we know we're not in Kansas anymore. Police are out in full force and State Street business owners are taking extra precautions.
We're probably going to head out before that gets too crazy. We're not all about causing trouble. We're just here to see everybody and have a good time.
That's the kind of partygoer police are hoping to see but did not get last night.
There are people handcuffed everywhere.
With over 150 arrests, officers had their hands full, but a fleet of horses proved to make a difference in the early morning hours.
The horses were very effective, especially in the end of the night, helping to move people out of the State Street area.
Proud of the police work is Joe Burkholder, a former University of Wisconsin student who remembers the days when Halloween on State Street had more people and less problems.
25, 30 years ago when this all started, it was all mellow, people just having fun, no fights, no busting windows.
He hopes to see history repeat itself this weekend.
And let's not forget, it's daylight savings, so these people are going to get an extra hour for mischief. But the university is going to do its part to help out. They're giving away $15,000 of free food to help sober up some of these people. Lee?
Natalie, if you can hear me, did the addition of stadium lighting or the increased fines for alcohol violations keep the problems down last night?
Lee, I can kind of hear you. The lights are definitely helping because it's holding these people accountable. Police can see who's causing the problems, like that guy right there. And then the horses, those are helping push the crowds back and clear out the streets. Lee, it's really crazy out here. We're going to throw it back to you.
Natalie, you're going to have to break out your biceps to ward those guys off. Thanks so much.
Meet Spanky, Spot, Smiley, and Snow White.
She definitely is very sweet, just wants to play more than anything.
All animals considered adoptable by the Dane County Humane Society, all pit bulls.
I'm about ready to have a baby, and I would feel comfortable letting, any of the pit bulls that come out of here be in my house and around my family.
But some cities, such as Denver, Colorado, ban the breed altogether, while other jurisdictions nationwide consider similar measures.
Any breed can be dangerous if they're not properly socialized and properly behavior trained.
Humane Officer Renee Stadler gave this pit bull named Chance a second chance.
I would trust him with toddlers. I mean, he's just got a gentle, great heart.
He's a good girl. She deals with dogs every day and thinks banning pit bulls is a bad idea because it affects more good dogs than bad.
And most likely won't affect the people who aren't registering their dogs and don't want it to be known that they have multiple pit bulls.
Dog owner Paige Pisapia says the thought of prohibiting pit bulls frightens a pit bull owner she met.
And her dog was fine. There wasn't any problem with her dog.
But Pisapia and other visitors to this Madison dog park also report more questionable experiences.
I do have a pit bull in our neighborhood who isn't socialized and is kept inside all day, and so I worry about that dog getting out.
The dog got off the leash and just came immediately running up to our dog, and they kind of squared off and started fighting very aggressively until we could separate them.
Dr. Richard Carlberg says blame ought to fall on irresponsible dog owners letting poorly trained pooches roam free.
If you're going to impose a ban on pit bulls, you might as well just impose a ban on every large breed dog.
He says it takes people to enforce current laws to keep a community safe.
If a person's going to have a dog that they know is dangerous, they have to learn to control it.
In Madison, Dana Bruick, NBC15 News.
John, 4 fire departments rushed out to this condo complex on Lake Delton. The fire destroyed the building and brought residents from several miles away to watch the crews battle the flames.
I have never seen nothing like this ever, not this big, and the smoke not this thick.
Around noon today, residents of the Dells area were flocking toward a thick black column of smoke on Lake Delton.
We were in Wisconsin Dells. It's about 6 miles away, and we could see the thick black smoke from there.
A 4-story building in the Lighthouse Cove condo complex was burning. Eyewitness reports say flames were shooting 100 feet into the air, and burning embers were damaging property 50 yards away. The realtor who manages this complex says the building was 25 to 30 years old and was built with flammable materials.
Probably 25 to 30 years old, wood structure, cedar shake roofs, compared to the new buildings that they build now with concrete walls, floors, sprinkler systems.
Lake Delton Police Chief Tom Dorner says the complex was mostly empty at the time, and there have been no reports of any injuries. He says the cause of the fire is still under investigation, and right now, they're not ruling anything out.
No cause yet, no reason to think it's arson, no reason to think it isn't arson. We just have no idea right now what it is.
Nearly everyone here watching the fire today couldn't say enough about the job the firefighters are doing, keeping the blaze from spreading to the nearby buildings, which, with towering flames, was no small task. Live in Lake Delton, I'm Justin Ware.
Thanks, Justin, for that live report.
The peaceful sounds of a quiet June day can't mask the damage left behind by Tuesday night's storms.
It was getting windy, so three of us, my son and my wife, went down the basement, and about 5 minutes later we heard all kinds of racket, and we come out, and this is what it looked like.
Wayne Haggerty's yard in the town of Caledonia is littered with dozens of trees, but his house sustained only minor damage.
Bad thing is I mopped the floor and vacuumed.
Haggerty's neighbor, Jackie Pafford, is not as lucky.
So I hid under the treadmill and it was over in a couple minutes, and I looked up the steps and there was blue sky.
Pafford came upstairs to find the roof in her front yard.
Yeah, it got dark last night and you kind of forgot how bad it really looked, and now I see it was bad. Our boat is over in their backyard. It was like the Wizard of Oz.
Now, as she sifts through what's left of her home,
pictures can't be replaced.
She's surprisingly upbeat.
All the kids' toys are okay.
And realizes it could have been a lot worse. Now, the bright note in all of this, no serious injuries were reported. Even Jackie's animals managed to weather the storm safely.
We're fine, and the neighbors are fine, and we found our pets, and life is good.
In Columbia County, I'm Paige Lambrecht for NBC15 News.
Melissa Wallering is live outside the United Center now with more from fans who made the 150-mile trip. Hello, Melissa.
Hi, Lee. That's just 1/4 of a tank of gas. That's all it took to get here from Madison today. Fans from Milwaukee say this drive was easier than driving to the Kohl Center. And Chicago has the largest concentration of UW alumni in the nation. There's no need to say Big Red had a huge presence here today.
Go Bucky. On Wisconsin.
Some fans will go to any lengths to watch their Badgers.
We actually went to Italy with them last year, so we've followed them all year long, so we're not stopping until it's all over.
But when Bucky plays in your backyard, there's no need for plane tickets.
Well, all it did is cost me my ticket here. I had no other expenses except for parking, so I saved a lot of money.
This is very convenient and love coming just a 2.5-hour drive down here.
Now, would you have gone to Buffalo to see them in the first round?
Probably not.
Spokane?
Probably not.
Sacramento?
Probably not.
What if your boss paid?
Probably.
What's your boss's name?
My dad. I work with him on the farm.
Dad, can you spring for a Sweet 16 in St. Louis? The Tucker family was certainly hoping Wisconsin would advance to the next round as we caught up with them on their way into the United Center today.
This is a big game, you know, it's last season for Orlando, so I'm hoping they have a good tournament run.
Hope they go all the way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they got a good shot.
For Trayvon Hughes, former high school coach, the invitation to Chicago made Brian Rickert feel like family.
It's almost like I'm living my dream through him almost, and it seems like it's, you know, he's almost like a son to me, and it's just, it gives me goosebumps every time he gets in there. I don't know if I'm more worried than he is.
We were worried about these brothers who didn't seem to know where the competition was from. Where's Corpus Christi?
Florida somewhere. I have no idea. Is it in Texas? Texas. All right. I don't know.
Does it matter?
No.
It's going to be almost like a home game because we were here last week, so we can do it again.
And win or lose, the weekend is certainly providing a reason to celebrate. Now, you're going to take in St. Patrick's Day this weekend, too, right?
You bet. We're going to be drinking green beer starting at 5 o'clock tonight, celebrating Badger victory.
One of the fans filing out here told me that he was having chest pains when Wisconsin was losing. He was so nervous. Now he's fine, of course, with the win. And the consensus is it wasn't pretty, but it is a win lead. And we'll see you back here at 6.